And then I rang him up and we FaceTimed, and he was responding really quickly with that robot voice, and I think I was being catfished. I think there's someone else off to the side. But I can't prove it. And then there's a lady who wrote to me, and her name was Bree Morgan, and Bree has a webpage called breeshope.org, young lady from Kansas City, Missouri. She has 2 young boys. She's 27 years old. She's pregnant with a 3rd. She goes into labour. She starts hemorrhaging. She's going to die. They have to save her and the baby. They C-section the baby out. She's still not doing very well. She's about to die. I don't know what the medical reason is, but they have to put her into a coma for about 3 weeks. During that time, she has sepsis. While she has sepsis, blood stops getting to her extremities. Her feet and her hands turn black, and they have to amputate from the elbows and the knees. And she wakes up not knowing that she has lost her 4 limbs, with the baby laying on her chest that she can't hold. And she writes to me and goes, "Do I qualify?" So now I've had to implement a 4-limb policy. The 4-limb policy is the same as the 2-limb policy, but if you're a quadriplegic, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, you've got your 4-limb amputee, whatever you are, if you have 4 fucked up limbs, you get a photo with me and you get 2 free tickets, right? Just contact my people through socials, moving. Okay, so I don't think you should ever have to pay for a laugh. Now, to any quads who are in the room, that is moving forward. I have no control over the ticketing company. I can't get you your money back for this evening show. But I come around about every 18 months. I tour Australia. So when I'm back in Canberra, if you're still alive, I also have my deluxe package. My deluxe package is, if you are missing 4 limbs and you are deaf and or blind, you get a photo with me, 4 free tickets, and I'll go down on you no matter the genitalia. I won't take no for an answer. Now, I had to make it 2 limbs because everybody's got some condition, right? Everybody's got something. Everyone in this room isn't running perfectly, right? We've all got something going wrong. The human condition is terminal. I have a medical condition, something that I struggle with every day, something that you can't see when you just look at me, something you don't know about me unless I tell you, and I'm hesitant to tell people. And we've got 2,500 people in the room with us right now, and I don't want to talk about this. But if I can make 1 or 2 people in this room feel less alone, then it's all worthwhile. Because I am... No, mate. I'm a hemorrhoid survivor. I'm not a sufferer. I'm a survivor. I don't let hemorrhoids define me. I defy hemorrhoids. It's just something I have every day. I don't let it control me. Just so that people feel less alone in this room. Put up your hand. My hemorrhoidal brothers and sisters with us this evening. Put up your hand, put it up, make it proud, make it high. Who here currently has a hemorrhoid? Come on. Yeah. One guy is yelling about him. I lost those 2 ambos now. They went, that's enough of that. No one can have a heart attack for the next 30 seconds. You'd be fucked. Okay, statistically that's incorrect. We can't have just 2 people, 3 people in the room with hemorrhoids right now. So let's broaden out, make our web a little wider. Put your hand up if you've had a hemorrhoid but you don't currently have a hemorrhoid. There we go. Put it up high, mate. Don't be. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got about 30. Still statistically incorrect.
You're not going the back
Now,
road.
we've reached a crossroads in the show this evening. Possibly the funniest routine of the night is about hemorrhoids, and you'll only find it funny if you have had a hemorrhoid. So I can't do the routine right away. So the rest of you will enjoy the joke. I have to explain hemorrhoids in great detail. What are hemorrhoids? Thank you. Hemorrhoids are varicose veins of the anus. Right, now what's a varicose vein? Varicose vein, you know when you see a group 5 wearing shorts just to upset everyone? You know that one that just wears it just to confront others, just shows up at a barbecue like, oh, I've been playing pickleball, what? And behind them they have these bunched up veins that look like purple sausages that are bashing into each other like fucking dodgem cars. Well, that's varicose veins, and they come from cutting off your circulation. So if I sit on the edge of the stage like this, and I leave that leg there, the blood will cut off its circulation there, the blood will find it hard to push through there, and it'll bunch up until it makes a varicose vein. You can get them from crossing your legs like this. Sitting on the toilet too long will also do it. Now, the colon has veins running up and down the colon. And as you push too hard in your poo, push, the veins will bunch up, and then make internal hemorrhoids. Now, you'll know you have an internal hemorrhoid when it starts to feel like you're shitting a shard of glass. It's just the blood going down and pushing against it's not cutting into you where you think it is, right? Now, what will happen when that happens, they will start to bleed, and you'll get some blood on the toilet paper, right? First time's the worst, isn't it, mate? First time. The first time you see it, it's very upsetting. You think it's the beginning of the fucking end, isn't it? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. If the blood's bright red, you're not dead. That means it's up near your sphincter. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just hemorrhoids. It's actually, if you look at the tissue paper and it has the same hue and look as the Japanese flag, you're fucking, you can move on with your day. If the blood is murky and brown, you will have a frown because you're going to die. And no one will give a shit, and no one will help you because of those breast cancer bitches. You fucking heard me? Quote me. The breast cancer women are a bunch of greedy cunts. Breast cancer accounts for 15% of all cancer, yet it gets 85% of cancer donations. Do you want to know why? Because tits are winners, ladies and gentlemen. Men like tits, women like tits, kids like tits, fucking gay guys can admire a nice set of tits. And they market it beautifully with the pink ribbon and the pink cricket bat and the pink balls and the pink this and the pink that. But no one wants to buy a brown ribbon with red spots on it. And that kills more people. I'm just saying, when you donate money to cancer, don't just pick one cancer, just give it to cancer in general. So the inside hemorrhoids, I'll start to bleed, right? So there's that. The medics walk, medics! Fucking, what? Can we turn the house lights up a little tiny bit, please? Fucking hell, there is a lot of group 4s, huh? Okay, I actually had this happen during this routine about 3 months ago, well, about 2 months ago. People who are squirmish of blood faint. I think that's what's happened again. Or I'm killing up here.
Where are they? Straight down.
Yeah.
Down the house.
You'll be right, Jim.
Probably everyone
taken 2, but we have had 2 people who have passed out on this routine. We got another one up there. Fucking hell, people at Canberra, you're fucking soft as all fuck. You fucking live in this little tiny fucking state. If we've got special rules, we can have as much weed and porn as we want. You must be the biker guy. Hello, mate. Now that I can see you, but bikes are cool. Lucky we have 4 fucking ambos, right? We never normally have any. In America, you'd be paying $10,000 a minute to have these cunts around here. What do you... Hang on, okay, everyone, we're going to let him do it. I'm going to do rodeo clown work, right? So what I'll do is I'll tell you a joke. I'll tell you a joke, let the medical people do their stuff, right? I'll tell you a joke that you can just, this is an old pub joke. This is a joke that you can tell the next day at work, right? Everyone enjoys one of these, right? There's a guy, he finds a genie's lamp. He rubs the lamp. The genie comes out and goes, "You have 2 wishes." And the guy goes, "Don't I get 3? He goes, "Check your pants." He looks down, he has a whopping big cock, and the genie goes, "I've been doing this a long time." I can't believe we've got 2 people in front. Yeah. This is, you can just ask to have a photo. Group 5 isn't a disability, madam. You know what is funny? It really is pitch dark. I can't see anyone normally. And so what happens is, when I'm doing the group 4 routine, I'm moving my head like this. Now, if I locked eyes with you, that is coincidental. I try not to go, no, I go group 4s, and if I catch the one woman, fucking hell, Jesus. So I'm gonna tell you a crowd work thing that just happened in Geelong. This just happened, right? This literally just happened 3 nights ago in Geelong. We were doing a show, right? I'm on stage in Geelong. I'm doing a little bit of crowd work at the end of the show, which I sometimes do if I've got the time. And I just sort of said, anyone here from Canada? And I talked about Canada for a bit and talked about New Zealand. I said, any other countries in the room? And this lady who was 20 rows back, I couldn't see her. She just goes, "I'm from Asia." Now I have to do the voice. This story doesn't work without the voice. It is necessary, right? Right? I did the voice. Calm down. You might get a photo. With the voice. So this lady goes, "I'm from Asia." And I said, "Oh, what part of Asia are you from?" She goes, "I'm from Vietnam. I am Vietnamese." And I said, "What's your name?" And she went, "No." And so that's her name. But then I start doing a Abbott and Costello, who's on second, right? I start going, "Well, I'd like to know your name." "No." And I'm like, no need to be rude about it. What's your name? So we do that back and forth. And then I said, "Look," I said, what do you do for a living, no? And then an old lady in the second row goes, "Nails." They do nails. And I was like, she was the only woman of colour, the Asian lady, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. And she goes, the Vietnamese are the best at it. They do nails. They do my nails. They're very good. And I said, no. I said, no. What do you do for a living? Please, 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 I hope you don't do nails and you can prove this lady wrong. And then No goes, "I work at Bunnings." And then the old lady goes, "In the nail section." It's getting to the. Yeah, this guy's like, I'm off for a fucking piss. I'm off for a piss. Fucking hell, look at you, muscle. Hey. You're fucking ready to go, aren't you? You got the walk. Fucking hell. Is that your fella? He's alright, seems like a nice bloke. Are you down with the moustache, or you think he shouldn't have it? You like the moustache? It's good. I've done a lot of shows in the States. I live in America for the last 18 years, so it has filled a lot of my time. Yeah, I work in the States every week. Oh my! I have worked in Canada. Normally Canadians are polite. Canadians, see, this is how at the moment. Like the good thing about war is you get to learn a little bit of geography. You know what I'm saying? So none of us in this room know what the Strait of Hormuz was. None of us knew, did we? And then like 6 months ago, we all found out, and now we all fucking just every sentence, oh, the Strait of Hormuz, that's where we get our fertilizer, right? None of us knew fucking shit, now we're all experts, just like that, right? But when I first found out about the Strait of Hormuz, I was pronouncing it wrong, and I was calling it the Strait of Hummus, right? And if you pronounce something wrong, then you lose all your argument in a fight, right? So I learned things through that memory thing where you associate someone's name with an object, with a whatever. So it's pronounced Hormuz, Hormuz, Hormuz. So remember, derogatory term for a Canadian prostitute. It's the best way to, it'll never leave you now. Like some guys like, I was just down at the truck stop, there were Hormooses everywhere, I tell you that for sure. I paid one of them a loony and a toonie, but I think I overpaid. Anywho, I need to borrow a shovel. Have we got them? Oh, he's up, he's walking. The one up there is all good? So that's my third. Were they all fainters, Andrew? They're all fainters. If you talk about blood, if you talk about hemorrhoids, they fucking... Lights down, please. Everyone get to your seats quickly before the light move up. There you go, get in. There we are. There we are. All you fours can relax again. Everyone stop judging you. It was more than I thought. But you mustn't be that mad. That bloke didn't faint at the sight of you. So, how was it? Okay, so people, what was I talking about? I'm talking about hemorrhoids. It feels bad to keep going now, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Everyone who is going to faint has already fainted. So I think we return back to the routine and we power on through it. I think these people have a story that they're going to find very hard to tell their friends when they go home. When they're just like, why did you faint? Oh, he just said that you might shit out some blood. Because that is, you shit out blood. So you'll have, the hemorrhoids will pop. It does get worse. So if you're feeling faint right now, leave the room. The hemorrhoids will pop. There he is. Your head in the light is a good example of one. Sorry, mate. She loves the moustache, by the way. So very good. She called it the clip tickler. We tried to stop it, she yelled it out over and over again. If she said she didn't, she's a fucking liar. Anyway, so you start shitting, you start bleeding from the arse, you have an open wound in your arsehole. Now think about that. Think long and hard about that. You have an open wound in your arsehole. That shit is smearing past. 24/7. Shit. Now if you get the smallest amount of fecal matter in your nail, you'll get that red bump. We've all had it. Easily infected area, right? You'll get that little infected area. Right there. Yet you can have an open wound in your arsehole that shit is constantly covering. Never gets infected. Doesn't that make you believe in magic? Doesn't that make your heart fill with whimsy and wonder? Do you want to know why it doesn't get infected? Because it can't. It can't get infected because if it gets infected, you'll die. So it just can't get infected, so it doesn't. The arsehole and the shit have learnt to live together in harmony, even though they don't get along. The shit's like this: I live next door to this arsehole, but there's nothing to be done. He's not going to change. He's always been an arsehole, but I guess he's my fucking arsehole. And the arsehole's like this: I live with shit. I live with shit every day. What can you do? Shit. Not going anywhere. If Israel and Palestine could look to the arsehole, what a beautiful world this could be. But I'm just here to change hearts and minds, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I have been untruthful with you. I don't have hemorrhoids. I have piles. What are piles, madam? Thank you for asking. Piles is when the doctor looks up your arsehole, sees a cluster of hemorrhoids and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fuck it, we'll call that a pile. But I don't have pile, I have piles. I have multiple mountains of multiple hemorrhoids running up and down my anus. You know when you're watching a porno, and I don't care what sexuality you are, but someone's ass is getting fucked, ladies and gentlemen. There's an ass and it's got a cock in it and it's pounding away. And it's going all right, but then 2 cocks go into it. And then a black cock comes in and ruins the whole place. And when that cock gets pulled out, the arse does a thing called prolapsing, where it turns inside out, gets all red and fleshy, and goes like the head from the monster from Stranger Things. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's me doing a poo. Every morning, you can set your fucking watch by it, I'm regular if I'm anything. I sit on the toilet and I curl out a shit, and the left-hand side of my anus rolls out a thumb's worth, a footy frank sausage worth of purple throbbing mess. The right-hand side of my anus is still fine, but I'm sure it's in the male. The left-hand side, the skin's given up all elasticity, and I can't imagine it'll get better with age. Anyway, so my ass prolapse out. Now, I know you're thinking, that must be horrible until it goes back up. Well, it doesn't. Not by itself, it needs a little bit of help. So after every shit, before I wipe, because if I wipe first, then I'm rubbing tissue paper against the hemorrhoid, I get these 2 fingers, and I lean up, and I push my left-hand side of my anus back up into my body. I try to flick it up, back in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It worked today, that's why I can sit on the edge of this stage. My arsehole is so bad, you could start a horror movie with a close-up of my anus, and people would be like, ooh, that's a lovely rose. Then as the camera pans out, they go, oh fuck, oh my God, oh God, oh Jesus, oh God, this is clearly a man who's been fucked to death by a horse, and now the semen has sat inside him and he's being eaten, turned into maggots, he's being eaten from the inside out. Oh no, he's moving, that makes things even worse. My arsehole is so bad, I think I'd do all right in prison. I'd be walking around the yard, it'd be day 3, be walking around, minding my own business. A gang comes up to me, hey, so you're new around here. You look like you could do with some friends. I actually enjoy my own company, to be honest with you. But I appreciate the offer. Well, we could just rape you then. I'll see you in my cell. Then I'd go back to my cell and I'd leave the gate open. I'd put my pants around my ankles so I couldn't run away even if I wanted to. I'd put my head underneath the top bunk and my knee on the bottom bunk, and I'd display my arsehole as widely as possible. And I'd await their arrival. And when the gang walked in the room, I'd turn around and go, "Is this what you want? Go ahead, boys. Fuck it. Put your cock in here and fuck it till you come." And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you can stare into my anus and maintain an erection, you've earned every bit of that rape. And these fucking soft cunts fainted at the first bit. Now, I don't do that joke in comedy clubs or anything like that, because I only do that joke in front of people who already like me. I just did Shane Gillis and Friends at the Hollywood Bowl, and I couldn't do that joke because there's nothing worse than doing that joke to nothing. Just like, is this what you want to do? Like just to nothing. I've done it before. And we can do it here in this room because, okay, first of all, you've all bought tickets and you know what you're going to see. And if you don't know what you're going to see and you've been dragged along this evening, all you had to do was watch 5 minutes on YouTube and you would have known if you were enjoying yourself. So if you're not having fun tonight, suck my dick. But for the rest of you, we can do these jokes. Because, look around. 90% of this room are Generation X. The greatest generation that ever was and ever will be. Oh, we're wonderful, are we? Generation X people, give me a cheer. Now, this is something funny that happens. Look, watch this. Few rows back, millennials, give me a cheer. They can't afford these seats, can they? Right at the back, Generation Z, give me a cheer. Now, there's always a few group ones up the front here, but that's because Generation X has gone, I'll bring you along. So Generation X, we are the greatest generation that ever was and ever will be, but no one will ever know it, and that's the way I like it, right? We're not in the history books because we didn't fight in any major wars, for the majority of us, right? Some people did, Afghanistan and whatnot, but for the most part, there was no Vietnam or anything like that. No one documented our lives, and we were just before the computer, right? I'm writing my biography at the moment, and the publisher asked for photos of my childhood. I rang up my father, he found 11. I lived with that cunt for 21 years. And he documented my life 11 times. Stop texting, cunt. Come on, get it back in. There you go, put it back. It can't be that important. Either. Yeah, as I said, it can't be that important. Oh, well, good, don't tell anyone. That was actually for some blind people who couldn't find them. The joke earlier where they sit in the front. So this guy, if you haven't noticed, he's drunk as all fuck, right? His wife's up there, he stumbled down to the seats he can't find. He's texted her back here like, I've made it. She can fucking see your dumb head, mate. At no stage does she think you didn't make it. And she's going, all right. And then you've gone, I'll just tell everyone. Anyway, it's all worked out fine for you. I'm not going to dom you in. If you're talking a bit, no. 4 more words. I'm going to give you 4 more words. And then you get kicked back to your original seats. Have you got the balls, Teddy Tough Nuts? Sorry, that's 1. Don't do 3 more. 3 more, you get fucking kicked back. We're listening to this, Frog. We're listening to this, guys, because he's just moved out here. You got anything else to say to me? Good boy. You little fucking bitch.
Well,
Don't, you haven't got 3 more words. You've used them all up, cunt. What was that? Send him? Might send you for fucking speaking up. You got the voice of a 4 with the confidence of a 1, love. I can't see you, in my defence. I cannot see anything, so don't take that personally, even though you should. So the millennials, I teased you in one of my specials, the millennials. You know, millennials. I'm married to a millennial. My wife is 36 years old. I am 49 years old. My mother-in-law had my wife quite young, so my wife is 13 years younger than me, and my mother-in-law is 8 years older than me. Seriously, I would have been happy with either one. My life would have had the same level of happiness, whichever path I fucking went on. They both have their pros and their cons. One's good for fucking, one's good for watching the telly with. I like watching the telly with me wife, it's why I married her. So we had the Z's already. Do we have anyone here younger than 18? Oh, I can see the point. I see the point. How old are you, mate? Sorry? 15. Fucking hell. Got the voice of fucking Ray Hadley. I'm 15 years old. 15, what's your name, mate? What's your name? Archer. G'day, Archer. And who is the girl? You don't look that much older yourself. Why are you pointing him out? How old are you? You're 31. All right, well, you are in the dark. It's not the western suburbs of Sydney. I assume you're not his mother. What's your relationship to this young man? Oh, well done you, sir. Well done you. Well done you. Fucking got a bit of money, got a bit of money. What's your name, mate? Luke. How old are you, Luke? 49? Same as me. All right, you're doing well. All right, Luke and Archer. All right, Luke and Archer. I'm going to talk to you a bit more, Archer, as we go along, right? Because I'm going to talk about the different generations, and I'll come back to you, mate. Is that all right? You seem like you're a good sport. Your stepmum. Must be hard not to wank around the house, son. Dogged you in, Archer. So I went and saw Oasis in concert 3 times last summer. 3 times last summer. This time last year, my summer, not Australia's summer. So I went and saw them twice at Wembley and 1 time in Toronto. I've seen Oasis live 27 times in my life. They've been broken up for 14 years, so I haven't seen them for 14 years. And in that time, I've raised children and I do shows at night, so I don't get to go out to concerts unless I book the time off for the most part, right? But I booked that summer off just to follow Oasis around for a few gigs. Favourite band. Things have changed a little bit, Archer, since I went to concerts. In the 14 years I've been away, basically your whole lifetime, things have changed. When Wonderwall used to play, right? When Wonderwall played at the concert in Wembley, everyone pulled out their phone and pulled out a flashlight. Me and your dad, back in the day when we were at a concert, if we enjoyed a song, we held up fire. Like a caveman that was proud of themselves. And you just hoped that the wind was coming behind you, because if it came towards you, Archie, you had to bend your hand down like that, and you had to let your thumb off for a bit. But you probably think, if you were in this room right now, Archie, which you are, in many ways, and someone just put up a lighter right now, you and your generation would freak the fuck out. You'd start looking for the exits. Oh, the whole place is gonna burn down. We were responsible, Archer. We were responsible, mate. We were doing this next to women who had so much hairspray, they would have just like that. Never fucking happened. Now, I went and saw them in Wembley. I saw them one time in the stands with a couple of comedian mates, and the other time I was on the floor for the open, the open area, open standing. This is how I used to see Oasis. I quickly realised that I wasn't built for this activity anymore. As soon as I walked on, I went, oh, geez, it was a long concert. And you can't see anything, can you? I'm 6 foot tall. I couldn't see shit. Right? Now, I know I'm 6 foot tall, but I carry most of my height in my forehead. So even though I'm 6 foot tall, I have the vision of someone who's 5'8". So I'm there, I can't see the concert, I'm just watching on the screens, you can't see anything. What happens when you can't see anything at a concert? Inevitably, a woman, a girl, will get on the shoulders of her boyfriend, right, to see the song. Taylor's all this time, we've seen this. It's always a group one, isn't it? Always a group one. That's a nice thing to look at, a group one up there. Yeah, never a group four, is it, eh? Group four wouldn't dare ask, would they? Could you imagine? If a group four came up to you at a concert like, could I get on your... Get the fuck out of here, group four. Wanting to get on my fucking shoulders, group four. Wake up to yourself, group four. You should be able to stand on group fours so you can see better. Anyway. So the girl gets up on the boyfriend's shoulders. After one song, the millennials, the millennials and the Zs start booing. Boo! We can't see. Can't see. Generation X, we said nothing. Do you want to know why, Archer? Because my generation, your father's generation, we remember simpler times. Back in the day, if we were at a concert and a girl got on the shoulders of her boyfriend and she was obscuring the view of many, we had a social contract with that young lady. One that she understood, one that we understood. One that her boyfriend understood. That's why he would politely turn around. She'd flash her tits. We'd all go. And if they were good tits, she was good for 2 songs. Well, we can't do it anymore, can we, ladies and gentlemen? Want to know why, Archer? Because your generation is a bunch of rat cunts who can't keep things to themselves. You have to film everything, you have to fucking post everything, Archer. Back in the day, that girl would flash her tits. The next day, she'd go back to working as a kindergarten teacher because she'd done nothing wrong. And also, there's no one drinking at the concert. Oasis are a cocaine and alcohol band. You're meant to be fucking like raging the whole time, wanting to punch someone. But they don't do it anymore because the generations don't drink like they used to drink. So the millennials drink 20% less alcohol than Generation X. Generation X were the biggest drinkers since the men who came back from the Second World War. And then the millennials drink 20% less alcohol than us. And then the Generation Z is drinking 20% less alcohol again. And 15 under, which is Generation Alpha, is set to drink 80% less alcohol than us. Now, Archer, I'm sure you think it's because you're better educated. Because you know the dangers of alcohol. Like you can't understand why we ever put poison in our body, Archer.
Give it time.
Because we had to, you little cunt. We had no option, Archer. We did not have dating apps. You wanted to get your dick wet in the 90s, you had to go into a dimly lit room where music was playing so loudly that your personality couldn't come into play in any way. Then you had to walk across the room up to a stranger and go, hello! Try doing that sober, Archer. Try doing that sober. Archer, I'm going to leave you alone, right? Look at me and really think about this, right? I'm telling you things they're not going to teach you at school. Right? You, sir, should worship alcohol. You should come home to every day and you just, thank you, alcohol. Thank you, everything you've done for me. Because without alcohol, Archer, you wouldn't be alive. Look at that group 3 sitting next to you right now, your father. Now, think about how drunk your mother had to be to suck his cock. It's probably better if you picture it, Archer. Or your stepmum if you want to enjoy yourself. Golly. And we didn't just go out drinking, did we, Generation X? We did something before we went drinking. What did we do? Pre-drinking. We were a generation of people who went pre-drinking. It would have been irresponsible not to drink before we drank. If you were on a fixed budget, you had to pre-drink. Otherwise, you were irresponsible. Now, pre-drinking was you would go over to a friend's house and you'd drink as much alcohol as you had to get to the level you needed to be to talk to the sex that you wanted to fuck. My level was blackout. Once you got blackout drunk, oh, then it was mating season. When you were looking your best, that's when you showed up at the club. And you couldn't just walk into the club, Archer. Back in the day, you had to get past the Maori fella who would question your shoes. And he'd look you up and down and go, oh, you've had a bit too much to drink? And you go, oh, I've had a couple of drinks, but nothing too serious, just in here to enjoy the music, kind sir. And then you had one mate who couldn't fucking get his shit together. And they'd be like, he can't come in, and you just have to cut that cunt loose, wouldn't you? That cunt. You'd be like, all right, Dave, you go sleep on that bench, we'll catch you on the way out. Then you got into the fuck room, the nightclub. You're like, where? You look around the club and you turn and go, all right, lads, I'm going to get one. This meant just staring at random women till eventually one of them looked back at you fondly. This was the original Tinder. This is all we had. Now, I had a system. I'd go in and I'd try to get a group 1 straight away. Never a top-end group 1, always a cusper, right? I know what I am, but a group 1 nonetheless, right? Yeah, you've got to be in it to win it. So I'd look at the group 1. Now, it's a lot of mixed emotions in this, isn't it? A lot of mixed emotions, isn't it? Because you want to look tough, but you don't want to look violent. You want to look kind, but you don't want to look like a pussy. You want to look funny, but you don't want to look goofy, right? So you look over and you... act like you're talking to someone. Now, I'm going to tell you something about group 1s that group 1s don't know about themselves. Group 1s are the only one of the 5 groups who are allowed to look at the other 4 groups with disgust. You know how like a group 1 can look at like another human being who has thoughts and dreams and hopes and emotions and parents who love them and just go, oh. But the other 4 groups, we don't give a fuck, do we? Because they look at us like that so much, who gives a shit? So I'd be in the nightclub, I'd do the look. I'd get the look of disgust, and I'd go, fair enough. I was pushing me luck. I thought you were more drunk than you are. I do laps about every 35 minutes. I'll get you, have a couple of shots, see if you change your mind. Then I'd go straight for a group 4 because I didn't have any money. Made economical sense, otherwise I'm buying drinks all fucking night. So you go straight for a group 4, let's get the fuck out of here and get a route, right? You turn to the group 4. Now the group 4 doesn't get the funny looks and all that type of stuff. They just get this. And then you get, because she's a cusper, she's just like, oh, and you're like, oh, you've just crossed over, you don't know, you don't know. All right, lads, I got one. Whereupon, one of your mates would say this exact sentence. See if she has a friend. That's how tough it was in the 90s, Archer. Not see if she has a good-looking friend, not see what her friends are like. Just if there's another one of that species over there. Oh, fuck it. See, that's what when men go into group drinking, if we leave the house with alcohol, we like getting drunk, but if men leave the house with alcohol, it's because they're trying to get a fuck. Otherwise, we're at home playing poker or enjoying some sporting thing or something and we're just living our fucking lives. But if we leave the house and we're drinking, we're up for a fuck, right? Now, I know every woman who comes to my show is here on a date. Not your men, I'm not talking about your men. I'm talking about single men, right? I'm not allowed to get fucks anymore myself. So I work in an advisory position where if you find a fuck-free friend and you know a fuck-free woman, you go, oh no, she's well up for it. This fucking bird will get a fuck. I've been in situations in clubs where I've met like a girl in the group who's fuck-free and I'm like, I've got a bloke named Dave who's sleeping on a bench out the front you might want to check out. When a group of women go out drinking, I don't understand it because there's always one group. I don't know why they leave the house. There's always one girl in the group that's adamant. No one's going to get a fuck. Don't worry, ladies. You're all going to go home fuck-free if I have anything to say about it. So, Donna, last week you had a fuck, didn't you? I wasn't here. Yeah, I'm sorry about having a fuck. Well, it won't happen again. When men go out in a group, not only do we want every man in our group to have a fuck, but the uglier the better. A group of men are never more happy than when one of our good friends is leaving the nightclub pushing a wheelchair with a 300-pound burn victim. He's gonna hate himself, isn't he? That was a good night out. But see, we could do this, Archer. I told you I was going to leave you alone, but I won't. Archer, I'll tell you why we can do this, because Generation X men are built differently. The biggest use of Viagra in the world, and it's Cialis erection tablets, are men aged 60 to 80. The second biggest group are men aged 20 to 40. The people who use Viagra the least, 40 to 60. Generation X. Do you want to know why? Because Archer, we didn't grow up with porn machines in our pockets. When I was your age, if I wanted to wank, I had to get on my bike and ride into Ku National Park. There was a tree in there where I buried the magazines. I would get my shovel out, I would unbury them, I would dig the magazines up, and I would masturbate next to the tree like a chimp. And when I came, I was proud of myself, because I had earned it. I had earned it. Your generation wants to work for nothing. There was another weird thing that the Zs were doing at the concert. The Generation Zs did something at the concert that put off the millennials. The millennials got angry at the Zs. I saw this over 50 times. I just went to the World Cup and I saw this happen at the World Cup over and over and over as well. So I was talking before how the group one gets on the shoulders of the boyfriend. Generation Z and below think it's socially acceptable for men to be getting on the shoulders of other men at concerts. Like in the 90s, we staged crowd surf where people pushed you away, but we never, no, we have to draw the line somewhere. Society will crumble. I mean, this never happened in the 90s. I was never at a concert with my friends and I turned to one of them and went, "Can't you see, Paul? Come here. Come here. Spread your legs. Fucking wider, cunt. Wider. Come on. Here we go. There we go. And up we go. Now rub your dick in the back of your head, Paul. Like, is there anything more demeaning than being the bloke with his mate that like, I don't care what sexuality, I don't care what you fucking do with your life, but fuck me. If you're after a fuck mate, and you're a young fella, and you get on the shoulders of your mate, I don't know a lot about women, but I do know that heterosexual women like to be fucked by men. And if they see you on the shoulders of another man going, "So Sally can wait, she knows it," you never fucking fuck that woman ever again. You can't fuck anyone in that fucking arena. You look less gay with a cock in your ass. Fair dinkum. I'm missing the World Cup now. I was enjoying the World Cup, but I'm glad it's over because I don't have to wake up early anymore. I went and saw Australia versus Turkey, or Turkria, or whatever the fuck they want to be called now. Turkey, eh? And I saw Australia versus USA, which wasn't as fun a game. And by the time I was on tour here, the elimination game against Egypt, that made me wake, I wake up at 5 a.m. for that fucking shit. Or 4 a.m. I think. It was a cunt of a game. If you saw it, I watch a lot of football. I haven't seen that much diving. The fucking Egyptians in the first half, they must have had a word with them because they were better in the second half. But in the first half, just every time they were touched, these cunts couldn't build a fucking pyramid, I'll tell you that much. Drop one fucking pebble on their foot. Like, fucking let the aliens finish it. If these cunts build a pyramid, all the hieroglyphics would be blokes rolling around holding their shins. But then, so I was at the Australian-Croatia game back in 2006 in Germany. It's maybe my greatest memories. Me and my father, tears in our eyes at the World Cup. Australia got through. Harry Kill got that goal that was offside by today's standards, but who cares? It was wonderful. And then when it happened, one of my fondest memories of my life, top 5 memories of my life, is that the Australians were to leave the stadium, and out came fucking Paducah and Kuhl, and they all walked to Emmerdon. They walked out, and then the fucking needle dropped on the record. Shook me all night long. AC/DC started playing. We were fucking boom, right? Then when we beat Turkey, I'm there. Same thing. Australians won't leave the stadium. At the end of the game, They played Land Down Under. Then they played Shook Me All Night Long. So what happens is when you win a game at the World Cup, you get the song that most defines or the biggest banger that your country can produce that everyone in the world knows about, right? That's what we do, right? So Australia, brilliant. AC/DC, fucking Men at Work, fantastic. Now you watch the footage back. Turkey wins the game against Australia. And what song do they play? That's the fucking bullshit they fucking play. If there's any cunt here from the Egyptian embassy, you must have been tapping your foot along to that bullshit I just fucking sang. You're the oldest civilization on earth and you've fucking come to the table with that's fucking shit. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Not even the Turkish people, not even the Egyptians are like, oh, fucking I'm fucking not exaggerating, that's how the song sounded. It's fucking, look, I've travelled the world. I really have. I've done comedy everywhere, every fucking where. I've been in every pocket of the world. This is something I just know. And you might not like me saying it, but this is a fact. If your language sucks, your country sucks. If your language is fucking shit, your buildings are run down, your government is corrupt, and your people are living in waste. That's just how it fucking is. And if at any stage you're writing a language and you go, start again, cunt, you have put no effort into this if you think is a socially acceptable thing for humans to communicate with each other. I have never been on the 1% club and gone, and the answer is... And I know what you're thinking, I'm just picking on third world countries. In many ways I am. But it's not just third world countries. Sweden. Sweden has the greatest pop band of all time, ABBA. Right? Wrote the most brilliant, technical pieces of pop music that ever fucking existed, right? They tried to get famous in Sweden for 3 years, singing in Swedish, and not even the Swedes wanted to fucking listen to it. Then they go on the Eurovision Song Contest, sing in English for the first time. Oh yeah! At Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender. Right? Because no one wanted to hear, Big Buck! Die Flogen, Hugen, Bickity, Bockity, Bookie, Book. It was funny when the Muppets did it, and it's still fucking funny now. We got time. Fucking, got any New Zealanders with us this evening? Not one. All right. They normally don't clap because of the hoofs, so... I did this to a few months ago in New Zealand, and it's all right. I like the New Zealanders enough. I pick on them a lot there, but they're funny little fuckers, aren't they? They're, in New Zealand, they have no predatory animals whatsoever. Right? There's no animals that kill any other animals. They're trying to get rid of the domesticated cat because they introduced that. But naturally, they have no animals that kill other animals. That's why New Zealanders act the way they do. And that's why Australians, we're a bit different. Because we live in a country where everything might kill you. So Australians walk around with purpose. Because something might kill you, life's short, right? But New Zealand, they can walk around the way they do, like fucking wombles. Just oh no! Oh, look over there! Oh, that's good! Oh no! You watch, one of my best friends is Reece Darby. I know the Flight of the Conchords guys. I've met Taika Waititi a few times. All New Zealand comedy, and it's really funny. Don't get me wrong, New Zealand comedy is really funny. Reece Darby's one of the funniest. Flight of the Conchords is one of the best shows you'll ever see. Really funny. But all New Zealand comedy, so Australians, you can have hard edge, you can have those autistic lesbian women, you can have, and everything in between, right? In New Zealand, all you're allowed to have is confusion. All New Zealand comedy is a bloke walking out and just being confused by basic fucking things. Like, oh no, over there, 2 water bottles, 2 bottles, a 1 bottle. No, 2. What, like the dance, like the ballerinas? No, what? No. It's nonsense. No predatory animals. That's why the national bird of New Zealand is the kiwi bird. The kiwi bird is a blind, flightless animal. It'd get a photo. Doesn't that just sum up New Zealand for you? That their national bird is blind and flightless. The size of a tennis ball, just walking around like, oh no. In any other country, another animal would pick that up and eat it like an apple. But not New Zealand. Not New Zealand, because they have a very delicate ecosystem. I've been told something about there's some food supply or some water thing or there's some mineral or something. They have 3.2 million people in Australia. I've had someone more scientific than me explain it to me. But they can only have 3.2 million people in New Zealand. They don't have the stuff to sustain more than 3.2 million people. That's why, through evolution, they have gotten rid of Group 1. So as to keep the New Zealanders safe from overpopulation. You ever seen those Lord of the Rings movies with all the fucking orcs? It's just New Zealand chicks showing up for extras work, you know? No makeup. They save so much money on makeup. Right now there's some short-haired woman in a North Face fleece going, oh, fuck you. Oh. Well, this show's called Son of a Carpenter and it's named after my father. My father was Jesus. No, my father's a carpenter and I'm son of a carpenter, and I know it's very misleading because there's a 6-year-old photo of me where I look a bit younger with angel wings on the poster. So you could think that maybe the show had religious overtones, but it doesn't. It's just a picture of me being a doctor.
Yeah.
You're meant to work in politics, you fucking cunts. I wouldn't do that joke in Geelong, and I thought the people of Canberra will know. I'm not going to explain it to you, they go fuck yourselves. Well, no, I like religion. I like it a lot more than I did when I was younger. I used to hate religion. Now I think it gives people something to do. I personally don't partake. Right? I'll tell you what is, in this crazy world, the most reliable thing on earth. Porn. Think about everything that's happened in society over the last 26, 30 years, right? All the different movements, 9/11. But porn was always there. In your dark times. Do you want to know why it's reliable? Because it always ends the same way. You know what you're getting. It's comforting. Oh, cum shot to the face, good. They try doing different endings, don't they? It ruins your wank. They'll be coming on the tits and you'll go. You made a mistake there. Name me another movie genre that ends the same way every single time. Name me one other one. No other movie genre ends exactly the same way each time. If every action movie ended with the same car chase, it'd be fuck action movies. I don't care about action movies, they're too predictable. But not porn, cum shot to the face. Such a good ending for a film. I think all films should end this way. You would never walk out of the cinema if you knew. If the movie could be the worst film you've ever seen, you're not leaving if you know that there is going to be a cum shot to the face. You would muscle out any fucking film. Your wife would be trying to get rid of you and go, I just want to see the ending. Be like, everything's like a murder mystery. I reckon he's going to come on her. She might spray on him, who knows? You don't see that very often. Such a good ending for a film. All films should end that way. Gone with the wind. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. The Passion of Christ. I'll check with the ambos. Hey, lads. Lads, emergency lads. We might need you for this next joke. They're a bit fucking squeamish. So, there'd be a leper. And he's missing an arm because leprosy is a cunt of a thing. And Jesus is up on the cross. And the leper comes up. You can tell this one at school, aren't you? Can I help you, my son? No. It is I who can help you. Now, this only works if you can picture it. Try to picture exactly what I'm doing. Now, Jesus, he can't fucking stop it, can he? He's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's very angry to begin with. And he's up there, what the fuck are you doing? I can stop it. You fucking little leper bitch. Now, Jesus has been up there for 3 days, so he's all backed up, isn't he? But he's dehydrated, so he comes quickly, but it's that lumpy, claggy cum that you get after you haven't had enough water. So it shoots out. Some of the cum hits the leper on the head, and the leper's head kicks back like he's JFK in a convertible. And then a little bit of the cum hits the leper on the stump. And his arm grows back! That is a happy ending to that film. I gotta check in with me medics. They're repacking their bag. Hello, lads. Did anyone die? No more joke. What really happened? Did they just faint? Humour, with my presence, so hemorrhoids. Are they back in? One of them's come back home. Where's the one that's come back in? Well, you can't just faint in my show and fucking hold the whole thing up and I have to do crowd work for 15 minutes without being fucking spoken to, cunt. So where's the one that's come back in? Hello, you, mate. Was it you? What? Was it you who fainted? I walked him out, no one came back in. There was 2 people. No, the other one was up there. Well, what you do is you don't talk like the rest of the people unless you have like actual information. So was it 2 men or a guy and a girl? You can say. You're not fucking doctors, you've had no fucking oaths. You know, there's nothing, you come home to your missus after a day and you go, and his head was split on the fucking concrete. Made it hard to have lunch, to be honest. So you can't say. They don't get a refund. It's the same reason they had medics in the movie Psycho, because people were like that. Alfred Hitchcock advertised, this is wonderful. If there's anyone here from the news, please report on the fact that my jokes were so vile that people were passing out. This is the thing. So they've come back in the room. How can we make this cunt fade again? What was that? Show us your piles. I can't. They're tucked away for the night. I'm back on Australian food, so they're going all right. I don't have my normal diet of plastic in America, so my bowel movements are an all-time fucking high. They aren't seeping with pus or blood. There isn't blood mixed with shit as the pus oozes over the shit. Now think of shit covered in blood and pus, and then you get a spoon, and even though it says no, you dig into it, and then your mouth rejects it, so you just smear a little bit on your face to begin with this white, pussy, bloody, gooey, and then a bit gets on your tongue. Tastier than you thought. Did they faint again? I can keep going. What a weird thing. So, was I looking in the right direction? You can tell me. Yeah, you just nodded. Fucking, you have an oath to these people. I bet you the two female medics were back there with them. I know, I watched the first 10 minutes. Horrible, horrible performer. We should get going soon, ladies and gentlemen. We have been up here a little bit too long. No, we don't. Okay, the Canadian woman goes encore and says, okay, you don't understand Australians. Australians, we're quiet people. Do you know we don't do standing ovations? He's gone back to his seat. Better see me wife. He's just found out that she's come back in after fainting. What's that? No, thank you though, I appreciate that. So this is the thing, so the one North American person's like, yeah, encore. You don't know these people. I work in America all the time. When I walked out here, I got a lovely round of applause, and I appreciate every minute of it, but they did not stand. Australians will not give you a standing ovation as you finish the gig. You people would rather die. We're us in New Zealand, the only nation, the tall poppy syndrome. If we have someone excelling or with the lights on them, we have to bring them back to ground. They won't do it. Jimmy Carr and me were talking about it before he came to tour, and I said, see if you can fucking get one, right? And we were joking about it because, like, you have to stand up to leave anyway. But you still sit there like this, nah, don't. That's just a culture thing, and I'm like that as well. When I'm amongst Americans, they all stand up and go, oh, for fuck's sake. There's different things I don't do. Americans don't do this. Hip hip. Hooray! That's a natural guttural reaction. You can't stop yourself. Because you are a member of the Commonwealth. Only Commonwealth countries do hip hip. Right? We could be fucking marched off to a death camp, and if one person at the end went, hip hip, we can't help ourselves. But the Americans won't do it. We don't only do that, we sing happy birthday, and then there's always that bit where you think to yourself, I reckon I'll take on the hip hips. You get into the woods at the end, you go, no one here looks like they're fucking bold enough to do it, I reckon I'm the guy here for the job. Happy birthday to you. There's another bloke eyeing it off. Slipping quicker. Hit it! Now, I've been living in America for 17 or 18 years, and I only found out this about them very recently. I have tried to hip hip several times and gotten nothing, let alone a fucking, he's a good, jolly good fellow. Like, if anything, on reflection, we do make the happy birthday song last too long. We can do happy birthday, the hip hips, and then we should call it a day. Because then there's that one cut that sees how good the hip hips went. And then they're like, I'm going to get involved. And that song has no ending. That song just peters out when people get bored of saying, jolly good fellow, and so still. I would leave parties thinking, fuck, everyone fucking hates me. I just hip that I got nothing back. I'll tell you a couple of jokes. I'll leave you on this joke, actually. This is probably my favourite joke to say at the end of the show. I like to repeat one joke off my first special. And, you know, actually, I shouldn't tell you this. I promised I wouldn't tell. Okay. Okay, if you put this online, you're a cunt. You're a cunt. Like, seriously, you're a fucking cunt. Because this is just something in the room. Okay. So on a couple of days ago, they had Nova Radio had a cricket match at Albo's house, Kirribilli House, and backyard cricket. And I got to play backyard cricket. And my nephew was Lieutenant Max Nugent, who was one of the helicopter pilots who died in the Whitsundays. And if you're part of the government in this room and you're responsible for burying 42 helicopters in an undisclosed area after the accident, fucking shame on you, you fucking scumbag. Turned out it was the helmets that didn't work, they inverted. Watch the 60 Minutes story. This isn't a conspiracy I'm saying, these are facts. It was industrial manslaughter. The government, what's that? Hip hip? So anyway, I have no personal beef with Albo. I know that he is just the head of the government and he runs everything. I got no personal beef with him. I don't like what the government did with my nephew's death and the cover-up that happened. I have every right to be angry about it, right? It's very difficult. My family has changed forever. So it was just me and Albo standing out there at the top of the lawn in Kirribilli, and I said to him, g'day mate, I said, my nephew was Lieutenant Max Nugent, and he thought I was bragging about having a nephew in the military. He goes, oh, that's great. And I said, do you know who he is? And he went, it doesn't really ring a bell. And I went, he's one of the 4 soldiers who died in the helicopter accident at Whitsundays, and he just fucking went. And I said, look mate, we're here to play cricket today, but fucking this inquiry's taken a little bit long, and why'd you get rid of all the helicopters? And he said, oh, well, we'll see what we can do. I said, look mate, I just wanted to get that off your shoulder, off my chest. And then we walked down the hill, he went to walk, I followed him. We walked down the grassy knoll, down to the bottom bit of the lawn, and to break the ice, I turned to him and go, I would have fucked Kylie as well. And then he looked at me like, oh, thank you. So I got a bit of respect for him now because he fucking took it pretty well. He took it pretty well. Wow. I had more clap when I fucked the whore in Mexico. Where do I come up with them? Where do I come up with them? I'm like intelligent and stupid in equal measures. So I'll finish up on a joke that's from one of my my first special. I swear to God. And on that special, okay, so this last joke, I tell a lot of jokes about my father. I can't tell jokes about my mum anymore because my mother died 7 years ago. And it was very sad. Because she didn't live long enough to see my father happy. She missed it by a couple of days. So this next routine's about me mum. And if you know the punchline, feel free to yell it out at the end, along with me. That'll be the end of the show. This joke's for you, mum. Or for you, probably that way. I would say that way. I'll tell you what, if my mum got up there, we're all getting in. Live your life as you see fit. It turns out there's no rules. My mum was a low-level group 4. My dad was a drinker. That's the thing, mate. That's the thing with Generation X. I want everyone round of applause for my mate Archie for being such a good supporter. Archer, when you're a Generation X like your father and you get drunk, I'm a famous alcoholic. You know the amount of group 4s I've taken to my hotel room, thinking that they were group 1s, and then in the bright fluorescent light of the fucking Holiday Inn, I've gone, oh God, and seen a group 4. But you want to know what? I've got a good heart. I've got a good heart. Do I kick them out? No, I don't. They've come for a root, so they get a fucking root. And I don't enjoy it, but I still get the erection, I still fucking go in there, I just shut my eyes and I think of better times. For I am Generation X. My mother, big fat one. When I was young, she took me and my 2 older brothers out to see the Moscow Circus, and there was an elephant in the Moscow Circus called Gunter. And the circus master used to get in front of Gunter and go, up, Gunter, up, and the elephant used to rise onto its legs. It was a great show. Anyway, from that moment forward, me and my brothers would refer to my mum as Gunter. Never to a face, never to a face. With such sentences as, when's Gunter coming home? What's Gunter making for dinner? Don't do that. Gunter will catch you. Now, we never once said it to her face, except for one time. We were home watching a midday movie. They used to have those old midday movies with a guy called Bill Collins, who used to do these shows. My brother was laying on the couch. I was laying on the floor. My mother was in her chair. Did anyone else have a parent that had their own chair? They were always the cunty parent, weren't they? They were never the good one. If you're a parent who has their own chair, you're a fascist piece of shit. If you come home and someone else is sitting in your chair, there's plenty of other seats, you Nazi cunt. You don't fucking rule the world. Anyway, my mother had a lazy boy recliner that we called the Throne of Misery. Over the years, the springs in the Throne of Misery had given up all hope, and she was deeply sunken into this chair with every bit of bitness in the world. The movie we're watching is The Blob. Now, the scene where the blob is oozing out of the cinema, my brother goes, "That's you, Mum! That's you!" And me and my brother laugh like it's the funniest thing that's ever been said, because at the time there's a good chance it was. My mother, on the other hand, did not find this joke funny. She looked over at my brother and went, "You think you're too old for a smack across the head, do you? I brought you into this world, you little bastard, I'll take you out." And then she goes to get out of her chair. She moves the fairy bread off her lap. And then she starts rocking from side to side, but she's so angry and she's turned red and she's pumping, "I hate you fucking kids. I have a fucking life." And she's trying to get up. My brother knew he had so much time to run away that he casually walked over. Stood in front of her. Turned to me and winked. And went, "Up, Gunter, up!" Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.